All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to HolistiFit Talks, the podcast where we talk about mental health in athleticism and how it affects athletes, and also mindfulness techniques to help athletes with their mental health. And today I have a special guest on, and he has actually his own platform about athleticism and helping younger athletes with things that they may go through. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Jaren.
Yeah, I'm Jaren Rainey, Lauren's cousin. So super excited to be on here and have the opportunity to talk with her about these super important topics. I think me and her both feel are kind of swept under the rug in times, but yeah, I actually do also have a podcast. It's based off of my personal experiences and things that I feel can help high school kids coming up and also help young college kids that are just beginning their college career, because it's a lot of stuff that I went into college and I had no clue about that I wish I had had a better heads up on. So that's basically what my podcast is about. I'm on week 15 now, but it's called Only If I Knew, and you can find it on Spotify or the Anchor app. And definitely go check it out and listen if you have anybody that thinking about playing at the next level, collegiate, no matter what the sport is, just to get a better understanding of what it's like to play at the next level.
Definitely. So yeah, go check out Jaren's stuff. I'll leave all his stuff at the end. I'll shout him out again, but I'll leave it all in the description box below. So Jaren, I understand that you have played, other than, football, the sport that you're playing right now, you have played other sports. So kind of as a piggyback off of what you're doing now, kind of tell us your journey with playing sports growing up and where that has brought you to currently.
I would say playing sports for me growing up was definitely like a it strung me along the way just to keep me guided towards my ultimate goals, and having my dad being my coach really all throughout my life, from young to being my high school head coach. He really taught me a lot of valuable lessons that I needed to know moving forward, and just the sport in general brought me so much closer to a lot of people. It helped me build relationships that I wouldn't have been able to build without sports. And then, like I said, it really was something that kept me grounded throughout high school and now throughout college. I know for a lot of people, they struggle just with the amount of free time they have and the amount of just the struggles they have with maybe not being able to be able to find friends or whatever it may be in college. And me playing a sport, that has been something that helped me leaps and bounds, just being around people who are striving to succeed and be around people who love the game of football. And it's definitely been a huge stepping stone for me and a huge pathway for me for success ultimately.
Yes. And I know that having your dad there, growing up is very like it can have multiple different avenues to it, because there's probably a bunch of different feelings that you have about that, because he's like your dad at home, but then on the sport, he's like, he got to give you tough love and somewhat treat you like he treats all the other athletes on the team that is not his son. um so you talk a little bit in your podcast about mindfulness and its importance with athletes. So when did you first realize, or actually, I'll ask you this first, what is mindfulness to you?
So I would say mindfulness to me, and I mean, this could obviously go different ways for other people, but mindfulness to me is just having a understanding of who you are as a person, and then what you stand for, and then having a solid belief in what you stand for and living by that on a consistent basis. and then having the confidence to know that you are who you are, and you will continue, like I said, on a daily basis to live in that lifestyle that you have committed to. And just knowing that no matter like the ebbs and flows of life that you have to go through, you're grounded by your faith and your belief, and you have a solid understanding of who you are as a person, and who you choose to be around you at the same time. So mindfulness, that's really what it is to me, just having an understanding of who you are, your base under you, who you spend time around, who you connect with, and just things like that. Just really, ultimately, are things that form you as a person and show who you are as a person.
I agree. Mindfulness is a lot of awareness. And a large part of that is, like you said, who you surround yourself with, because that can ultimately shape who you are as a person. It has a large effect on who you are as a person. And the energy that you surround yourself is part of that level of awareness. Um, so, taking that definition of mindfulness that you just described, when did you first realize that mindfulness was important for you as an athlete?
It probably wasn't until very recent, to be honest with you. It, Everybody has different pathways to success in life, or and for me, my pathway was going through a lot of downs before there were times where I was up. So it wasn't until very recent that I got a good understanding of the what I think that definition is, and it's something that'll happen for people at different times, which is okay. It is a okay to have different levels of growth at different times, because everybody's pathway is different. Everybody's path that God has for them is very different. So you have to accept that your level of success may differentiate from somebody that's in your corner. And for me, it was just recently I got a better understanding of what mindfulness was to me. And that was something that catapulted me forward in life, in a sense of the energy I let around me, the energy I put off towards people, the attitude I have towards life on a daily basis. Just little things, very, very little things that I put into a daily routine that has ultimately helped me move forward on a daily basis. Because that's all you can do at the end of the day. You can only control what you can control, and do whatever you can to move forward on a daily basis. And once you figure out that your true meaning of mindfulness, and then your true meaning of who you are as a person, and then you work towards that every day, then you don't let anybody in the way of that, and you only surround yourself with people of the same goals and aspirations as you, and you work harder than you ever have, and you feel like you have a purpose. And so that's why I say it was maybe just over the whole Corona year was when I kind of figured it out for myself, and it's like a whole new outlook on things, really, because you just kind of understand that everything is not always going to go your way. But once you work through those tough times, and once you work through those ups and downs, and you get on a steady pace, a steady path, and you find yourself, and it'll end up working out for you better than you really thought it would.
I agree. I agree with, you know, you saying that you just recently learned about it. And I feel like a lot of people recently learned about it too. I feel like you're not alone, because the whole Corona year taught me a lot of things about mindfulness too that I didn't even know were possible. Simply the fact that what you imagine in your head and the thoughts that you allow to replay over and over and over again create your sense of reality. So the negativity that we allow maybe from other people who have told us things about ourselves, or their opinions of us or things that really don't even have to do with us. They're a reflection of the people who are saying those things. But we tend to allow, literally allow negativity or that energy from those words, because like words are spiritual, right? The energy from those words and those critiques and those pressures. And I feel like especially an athlete can relate to this. There's so many pressures from everybody, and we tend to internalize those. And being aware simply that we allow that process to happen is a big step in mindfulness, because I see that a lot of people may not want to take responsibility that they do that. Because then when you take that responsibility that, oh, it's us that can ultimately control how much people's words affect us. Once we realize that, then we realize we have a lot of work to do with ourselves, with rewiring the way that we see things. And it's I like to say that it's simple, but it's not easy, because it's not easy. Like it's a whole process that we have to go through. um so what did you start doing to practice mindfulness when you realized this during the year that you realized it, that was so important? What type of things did you start implementing into your daily routine to practice it?
Um, uh, a lot of the things that I did were figure out who had the same goals as I do, and then surrounding myself with those people. So that was like a big thing for me, was the people I was surrounding myself with throughout that whole time was not good for me at all. And that's what a lot of people will have to learn moving forward, is that some of the most important people in your life will be some of the people that are holding you back the most. So that was one thing I implemented most, was understanding who in my circle was actually beneficial to what I was trying to do as a person. And then if you weren't, then I had to separate myself from you. And then outside of that, I've continued to read more, get in my word more, um, and like I said, on a daily basis, just do whatever you can to take steps forward. And then when somebody maybe comes into your life, maybe somebody comes into your day, trying to force you to like take steps back, trying to force negativity upon your day, you have to find a level of commitment to your progress to move forward, that you won't allow it to happen. Because once you learn to respect and honor your own time that you have for yourself, then other people will. If you don't respect your own time, if you don't honor your own time, if you don't use your own time to the benefit of yourself, nobody else is going to do that for you. Like nobody, if you don't do it for yourself, nobody else is going to do it. If you don't have the goals and aspirations to be whatever you aspire to be, then the people you surround yourself with are probably going to be the same type of people. So that was probably the biggest thing, was getting people in my life who I knew were on the same page as me with the moving forward aspect of things. And then after that, it was implementing little things like taking baby steps forward in life, and then reading more, and then getting into my word more, and then just little things like that, just to help on a daily basis of taking steps forward. That's all you can do, is continue to control what you can control and take steps in the right direction.
Yeah, that reminds me of something that I heard recently on one of your recent podcast episodes when you talked about adversity, and it really motivated me, because you said specifically about the small steps that we take, and how, it's little things that we take every single day that can lead to big things. And sometimes when we take adversity, I mean, when we face adversity, it just seems like we take multiple steps forward in order to get pushed back. But ultimately, it's all a test to see what is your response to it. And I think when I heard that, that was a reminder to me because the some things that we face in our own lives that people can't see, and then we're over here looking at probably what other people are doing as if we wanted to be in their shoes. um, but we're looking at other things around us and missing what can be happening in our own life if we basically stay in our own lane. But could you expound on that a little bit more about facing adversity, and maybe tell us about some of the things that you faced in your sport?
So one of the ways I like to look at adversity is there are two types of people when it comes to adversity. There's one person that's going to ultimately fold under that adversity, and they will crumble under pressure and they won't succeed. And then there will be that person that finds a way to prosper no matter what the situation is. And 9 times out of 10, most people are going to be that one to fold under adversity because it is hard. But you have to come to a personal realization of how important it is of what you want. So whatever you want for yourself, whatever you want in life, how important is it to you? And once you get an understanding of how important it is to you, once you get an understanding of why you're doing what you're doing, that's when adversity is something that'll end up fueling you. Because it, if it's something that if there's a will, there's a way. If it's something that you really want, you're gonna make a way for it, whether it's good or bad. And that's just how life goes. There are people who face that adversity and they're like, I want to take the easy way out, because human nature is to take the easy way out. That's human nature. That's why there are not that many successful people in this world, because it's not something that's easy to do. The human nature is to take the easiest way possible. And so when adversity strikes you, how important is you being successful to you? How important is you getting out of your situation to you? And then once you have an honest conversation with yourself, that's when things develop and unfold for you. Because sometimes you have to really be honest with yourself. Okay, this is not that important to me, where this adversity is going to make me want to go harder. And that's okay. So go find something for you that will drive you to a point where no matter what comes your way, you will be willing to overcome. You have to find that love, something you love that much, where if something comes up, it's like, okay, what can I do to overcome this? What can I do to work through this? Who can I go to that has been in the situation that I want to be in? And for me, like a personal example, it was playing football. Like I played 2 years at East Carolina. I didn't get a lot of playing time on the field, and it was rough. It was adversity. It was like, okay, what do I do? I had no clue. I'd come from playing in high school where I was a superstar. I was the man. I was everything. So then you go to college and it's rough. It's adversity. But football meant enough to me that I was going to find a way to persevere. And even through those 2 years at East Carolina where I didn't play much, and then a whole COVID year where I couldn't play, and then me not even knowing if I was ever going to play football again, to I'm on my going into week 3 of my redshirt sophomore season. So it's an amazing blessing, but you have to find something that is so important to you that no matter what obstacle comes your way, you find a way to overcome and you refuse to fold, because adversity is inevitable. That's going to come. It's how you handle it. It's how you go about all the problems that, because like I said, there are two different people that handle the situation. And if you're the person that's going to fold, you're going to be the person that's not going to be successful. That's the truth of the matter. It's how it goes. There are people in this world that go through adversity every day and they find a way to push through. They find a way to overcome. And those are the people that will be successful, because they don't take no for an answer. And so like I said, when I look at adversity, I look at find something that you are so dedicated to and so committed to that no matter what is put on your plate, you find a way to overcome and you find a way to work through it because it's something that you are so passionate about that you just have to have it. And if you don't feel that way about it, then it's not for you. So you have to find that path that's for yourself. You can't go looking at, oh, they have this, they have that. Let me see what they're doing. I'll go try that too. Oh, they have this amount of money, they have this, they have that. Let me go try that. Let me go see what they got going on, see if I can try that. And then you'll find out within the first month, it's like, oh, well, maybe this is not for me. So it's like, it's just find what you're passionate about, find what brings you the most happiness, and find something that no matter what you go through, you are willing to push through and overcome.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And I feel like we find it and well, looking for it, or I guess what's the right word? Most of the time that thing is like right in front of our face. And I feel like a lot of things in life don't require a lot of force for things to happen. I I've observed that a lot of this mindfulness and allowing what is going to be is simply observing. Like, be observant of what's going on around you instead of always trying to force things into place. Because and this is actually my next question, but I guess I'll continue my statement. I've personally found a hard time finding this balance between ease and surrendering what you're not in control of. A balance between that and trying to be my best, put my best foot forward. Oftentimes, I think we can get force and associate that with working hard and like grinding. This like whole hustle culture that we have in this grind culture. It's healthy in a way because it makes you realize that you can't be like all these other people that are just doing the mediocre things. I know you in one episode you talked about, like, if you like to play video games and if you like to skip class and stuff like that, and if you put that over football, that, I mean, if you like to go do those things, but the only thing you'll be seeing is the bench pretty much. And if we don't want to be like those other people, we need to do what it takes to not be like those other people. But in the same token, it's finding a balance between ease and finesse and hustle. Have you ever struggled with finding that balance?
Um, so when you say that balance, you mean like the balance between the hustle, working hard aspect of things, and then the you said like the finesse kind of way of things.
Yeah, so finesse in terms of still being able to give yourself rest, the optimal amount of rest for your body and for your mind.
Well, one thing I can say about that is you find out there's not enough time in a day to if you are committed to something, there's not enough time in a day to get everything done. But one of my biggest things was procrastination. So when you the procrastination aspect of things is if you do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, then you find yourself freed up of a lot more time and a lot less stress. So the grind, work hard aspect of things, that just has to happen. That's something that has to happen in the process because nothing comes easy. Literally nothing at all. The people that we see on TV, the people that we see magazines all over the place, there was a time and still times where they are grinding like on hard, not spending time away from family, spending time away from friends, sacrificing, and that's exactly what it is. It's sacrificing. What are you willing to give up to be what you want to be? And a lot of people are not willing to give up the partying, the females or the males, the drugs, the alcohol. A lot of people are not willing to give that up in order to be successful, and that's just the times we live in. That's just the honest truth. But the more you're willing to sacrifice for your own success, the better off you'll be, because the people that are up at the top right now, they sacrifice, they put themselves in a situation where it was like, I have to be successful. I can do that's not going to go anywhere. The drugs, the partying, the females, males, that's not going anywhere. But your opportunity to be able to catapult yourself as a person and go to the next level and whatever you're committed to, that's not going to be there for forever. Somebody else is going to come and take your place in that situation. There's somebody else that wants the same exact thing that you do, that's working just as hard, if not harder than you. So that's how I like to think about the work hard grind type of thing. That I think of it like, there's somebody out there that wants the same thing I do. There's no way he's gonna outwork me. There's no way in this world I'm gonna let somebody I don't like, because there's somebody out there that wants the same exact things. And are you going to be the one to just get outworked, or are you going to do everything in your power to sacrifice and put that time away and learn to do what you need to do in order to take those steps forward in the right direction? And then once you have committed your time and committed everything you can to that, the rest time is just something that comes. It's like your body will tell you, hey, I need to rest. And if you're committed to doing what you're doing, and if it's something that you have worked on repetitively, then you can take a break. You can take a rest day, a rest weekend. That's something that the body needs in order to be able to rejuvenate, to give you everything moving forward. So it's just, everybody's body, everybody's mind is different. Everybody can put in different. Everybody can get out different. Some people, it's just unfortunate how the world is, but some people who are 10 times smarter don't have to work as hard as some people who are maybe average, who are working their butt off just to compete with somebody who was born with the ability to do something that they weren't. And that's okay. That's the part of life. It's just a part of understanding and learning and growing, and like I said, that working towards goals that you have set for yourself, and then not letting anything get in the way of that. So the grind aspect of things is like, always remember that there's somebody out there that wants the same exact thing as you, and they may want it more than you do. What are you going to do to outwork them? What are you going to do to out hustle them? And then give yourself, give your mind, give your body the break when it needs it, so you can recover and then get right back to it. Because it's not like I need a break, I'm gonna let it sit there for a while. It's like, no, like, recover, give your body, give your mind what it needs. Go hang out with friends, go hang out with family, love on the people that you love, and then get right back to the grind, because that other person's getting right back to it. The money's not going anywhere. It's money to be made every day. It's happiness that needs to be welcomed every day. And so you have to be in a situation where you're doing something that makes you happy, because that'll make all the difference. If you're doing something where you're miserable, you're doing something where you're upset all the time, you're doing something that you're being forced to do, it's not going to be much fun to you. And then those breaks are going to be feeling lovely, and then you don't want to get out of those breaks, and then you slack off. But then you find something that genuinely makes you happy, genuinely brings joy to your mind and your soul, and then you enjoy working, you enjoy grinding, and then you spend the time with the people who are supporting you and the people who are helping you in the situation that you're in. And then that could be your break time, your let loose time to yourself, to read, to just enjoy yourself, doing hobbies, whatever it may be. So that's definitely one of the biggest things to understand. There's always somebody out there who wants exactly what you want. They want to be in your shoes. What are you going to do to outwork them? And just whenever your body, your mind tells you need a break, take that break and get right back to the grind.
That is so true that your body will let you know when it's time for a break. Like you don't have to guess, because if we are really in tune with our body's gonna tell us if we listening.
Yep.
That's all we gotta do is listen and be aware and be attentive. And that also comes with like self-love, and the self-love and self having that relationship with yourself, which can also come from mindfulness. So it all comes full circle. I love that answer. And this is my last question before we wrap up. If you could give one word of advice to any athlete who is struggling with their mental health, what would it be?
Don't be embarrassed. Don't don't hold that feeling in. Don't minimize your feelings because you think in the bigger world of things it's not important. Don't if something matters to you, then it matters. You're important. So don't put yourself in a mindset where it's like, okay, this may seem kind of soft, this may seem kind of uh, like not like who I am, this is kind of embarrassing, I don't feel like this is important. Get out of that mindset completely. That's the first step that has to be overcome in this mental battle with athletes and people in general, is just basing your reaction to things over the thoughts of others. And it's very unfortunate because in the society we're in, people do get judged or made fun of just depending upon their mental issues or their depression or anxiety or eating disorders, or if you're a female in this world and you don't have this and this, then you're lesser than. If you're a male and you're not this height, this or that, then you're lesser than. And uh, for like the athletes, you're going to go through so much. High school, college, if you're blessed with the opportunity to go to the next level, NFL, there's gonna be so much put on your plate, and it may be things that you have never encountered before. For me, it was things I had never encountered before. I was the happiest dude on this world, in this world, and it was just something that hit me, and I was like, I've never been in this situation. How do I react? I'm always that happy-go-lucky person. I'm like, why am I sad? Why do I feel down? How do I handle this? Who do I go talk to? And there's so many things that run through your mind. And the last thing that goes through it is, let me go tell somebody. Let me speak on it. Everything, that's literally the last thought. Everything else is, what am I doing wrong? How is I need to focus on this. This is not that important. I need to put this to the side. And that is what has to stop, because football will go someday. Your sport, whatever sport you play, will be gone someday. You have to live with your mind for the rest of your life. That's just the reality of things. You do not want to live in a mind of your own of just chaos and confusion and darkness, because there are people that go through that on a daily basis, and they don't get the help to get out of it. So it's okay to be helped. And if anybody judges you, if anybody judges you, or if anything in that situation, that is their problem for themselves. Nobody can judge you but God. There's nobody on this God-green earth that can judge you but him. Understand that your mental is the most important thing, because that is you. That is your life. That is your mind. That is your body. That is your soul. That is nobody else's but yourself. So why not take care of it? Why not do everything that's necessary to keep it up in the best possible shape that it can be. You only have one of it, so take care of it. Don't worry about the everything that's going on in this world around you with the mental health and all these people having different opinions on it. Do what you need to do for yourself, because you're the only person that has to live your life. Nobody else is going on a day-to-day basis sad or upset but you. So do whatever you have to do to help yourself, and don't be afraid to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. I promise you it'll help you more than it'll hurt you. Help you way more than hurt you. But like I said, your sport will end one day, but you got to live with your mind for the rest of your life to take care of it.
That is so true, y'all. My cousin over here speaking all these facts. I hope y'all, taking y'all notes or mental notes or what have you, because this is really good stuff. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up because we could talk about this for for hours because we we have definitely had our fair share of talks, Jaren, about these things. But go ahead and shout out your platform, the name of your podcast again, your Instagram, and things.
All right, yeah, my Instagram is Jaren, Jaren, Ray, Ray, and then 5. So my podcast link is in my bio, and then my Twitter is at the real Jaren Ray, and then I send out my link for my episode every week, and then I put it on Facebook, Jaren Rainey. And so you can find it on Spotify, Anchor app. It's called Only If I Knew. So whenever you get the chance, definitely look into it if you aspire to play the next level or in college right now. And I promise it'll do nothing but benefit you.
Yep, y'all heard it here on HolistiFit Talks podcast. Well, thank you, Jaren, for being on the podcast. And thank you all for tuning into this episode. Tune in next Wednesday. Post new episodes every single Wednesday. So come back for some really, really good value. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and be safe. All right. Bye.